And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Oasis. And I fast forwarded about 80 or 90 cycles or so, just so I could take care of some things. I demolished all of that. I have started sweeping up the whole map. I bricked off some of this area. I've just been going around doing some performance improvements. No real big changes to anything in the background. I just want to get this whole place tidied up because it was starting to affect performance and I want things to move nice and quickly. So this is my centralized storage area and we're up to about, what's that, 4,000 tons of stuff has already been dropped off there. We've still got a lot more stuff to go though. This has been, it appears to be working. Where is it? I put in a couple automation sensors here. If they detect any carbon dioxide up here, they activate these gas pumps. This was a recommendation from the comments and we'll see how that works out. It should be fine. It should keep that stable, and that will only turn on when that hits about 1800. Up here, water tank. I have been siphoning water out of the saltwater tank. Now, yes, I know this sounds a little OCD. I don't have OCD, but I don't mind cleaning up some of the things that were lying around the place. So I've been siphoning off all this water and getting this to be just one normal saltwater tank. But that's enough of that. Let's skip forward a bit here so that we can get onto some doing some projects. But first, I'm just going to let this sweeping finish up and I'll be back in 1 second. A quick skip forward through time here, and I've managed to mine out most of this up here and pretty much clean up most of the place. There's still some sweeping to be going on, but I just wanted to get rid of all the desert and get rid of, well, anything that was going to get in the way with the next stage, which is going to be getting all this water out of here so I can go demolish the space biome. There's an awful lot of water up here. But first, I just wanted to get rid of all the sand. Now that that's all gone, we can get around to, well, building, well, removing all that water. To remove all that water, I'm going to need a larger water tank to store it all in. I'll probably dump it all into the oil biome at the end. Well, aren't the oil biome, the magma biome. I want to try and combine the two just to see what happens. But for the time being, I'm just going to enlarge this water tank because we're going to need an awful lot more storage, considering that it's an entire ocean. Now that's beginning to look more like a water storage tank. It's going to be all the way from over here to over here, with this little gap in the middle for my oil reservoir. Also, I forgot to put in my temperature shift plate because I'm an idiot, and the temperature shift plate, without it in there, the water in the oil well boiled, and I got steam in there. And I've been trying to get it out, but I can't. So now I'm just stuck with that little blob of water there. I don't care. The other ones I put in the temperature shift plate and I haven't had any problems. So we'll just leave that. Hopefully at some point it will get scooched to the side when it gets oil vented and the water will end up here where I can mop it up on one of those mesh tiles. If not, well, if not, we'll just have to live with it. Now, time to demolish this and let the water flow. So yeah, that might be a couple of volcanoes in there. Though I didn't think they'd be that hot. Maybe I should have swept that debris off the top first. Uh, Great, now I've got a bunch of clean water in there. You know what? It doesn't matter. We've got water storage now. It's fine. Water storage size has been increased. I just have to break it open this side as well and include this bit. So our ocean storage tank is open for business. And most of that steam, did it condense again? Yeah, it seems to have condensed down again. Perfect. So with that completed, we can now start dumping the rest of the ocean in there. I think I've got enough space. And let's see. There's a lot of water. Am I going to have to extend that even more? I really hope not. I suppose I could extend the sides up and just make it bigger. But then now I'm starting to worry about the bottom of this tank cracking open. You know what? Let's start filling it and see how she goes. And let the wetting commence. I've cracked open a bunch of these, and all of that salt water can now flow down into our tank. I'm opening all of them at once because I have absolutely no self-restraint, it seems. Plus, I thought it would be fun to do it that way. Also, we should probably just dig back there a little bit, and we can get at that stuff at the back. Quick ladder, and we'll sort this one out. Yeah, that'll take care of most of that. I think, yeah, there'll be some water left over, but this is just, yeah, this is water extraction on an epic scale. The amount of water on this map is ridiculous. Maybe next time I'm playing a desert, I shouldn't have a subsurface ocean included. It might make things a little bit. Uh, in all fairness, I haven't used this ocean at all for anything. But if you did want to use it for oxygen, you definitely have an awful lot you can work with. Also, the poke shells I'm going to get out is ridiculous. There's poke shells everywhere. You'll see in here there's more poke shells over here, more over here. Once I add those all into my little collection, I'll have plenty of lime to make steel. Though I don't need any more steel. I've got 144 tons. Okay, well, no, I will need more steel. Anyway, I'm going to skip this forward a bit until the ocean is finished draining. Have you ever seen a liquid tank like that? That's a nice gradient we've got going on there as the water all pours down here and rolls into the tank. I do believe I have enough space to store everything. I made the tank just about the right size. I'm glad I did enlarge it though, because yeah, I don't think I would have had enough if I hadn't raised that a couple of stories. I'd already raised this a couple of stories higher than it should have been just to be safe, and yeah. Oh, yeah, I've also found another vent over here, or some sort of vent or geyser. I found another one over here somewhere. I'm going to have to investigate those. I'm going to have to go around and investigate all the water fissures and vents around the map. I want to see how much water we have available for a rocketry program. From what I've seen so far, I've found two polluted water vents. I have found a slush geyser over here, and oh, how did you get stuck up there? Yeah, we're going to have to give you a priority to get out of there, aren't we? And they'll be fine. They'll get out of there. Though their stress will be a little bit high until they get access to food and a few other bits and bobs. Just going back here. Yep. So once I've finished draining all of this out, I'm going to finish demolishing the rest of it, sweep up the map. I'll do all that off camera, and then we can start straight into space. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to demolish that oil biome. I've nearly, well, the whole map has been pretty much almost entirely demolished. Everything down here has been demolished. The only thing left is that oil biome and some of the ocean ones. At that point, I'll have all the resources stocked up. We can dump them all in one spot, and we'll be prepped and ready to do anything we want. And there we have it. The whole area mined out. There's nothing left now but space. Everything has been extracted except for there's a few pieces over here I haven't quite finished just because they're on the far edge. The only thing I'm going to left to do is to rip that out. I want to get all that hot obsidian and abyssalite out of there, because it might cause me problems later on. And I have discovered every single possible vent it is possible to have on this map. And there is a lot of water. There is an unbelievable amount of water on this map. We've got my two polluted water vents over here, which I started with. We have a cool steam vent over here. We have two more cool steam vents over here for three cool steam vents. We have a slush geyser over here, so it's one slush geyser, and then I've got a second slush geyser over here. And there's another cool steam vent somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a cool steam vent over here. And then I have a hot water vent over here, 95C water that just pours out of it. And one hot polluted oxygen vent right over here. This is the only one that I would classify as not great. But yeah, I'm still okay with that even. So four cool steam vents, one regular water vent, one. So I don't know. It's one hot water vent coming out at 95C, one salt water vent coming out at 95C, two slush geysers coming out at -10, if I recall, and two polluted water vents coming out at 30C, and then four cool steam vents on top of that. I am going to run the largest rocketry program I can possibly manage. I figure I have so much water on this map, it's unbelievable. I also have four natural gas geysers, I think. One, two, yeah, three or four natural gas geysers. More than I could possibly need anyway. Also, I believe I have about 8 volcanoes. I think six from the map start and then two just random volcanoes. I've got two volcanoes over here that all spawned right beside my base. Where is it? Yeah, there's one over here and one there. This has been quite a crazy map in terms of what it's ended up on it. Now, I'm just going to let the dupes finish off all this work. They're mopping, they're sweeping up everything. I'm tidying up the whole map. Then it's going to be time to do space. I want to get my hands on as much space material as possible because I do want to boil all that water just to see if I can. I think there's enough magma in the magma biome to boil all that water. Should be. Yeah. But first up, finish all this off and then go straight up and start doing space. A few side projects I should probably mention. I'm running a power spine up the side of the map. As in, if we look at this here, I've got a power spine running up the left, which plugs into the main grid here, and then I've got one running down the bottom as well, all the way up and down to the side of the map. I saw this on one of the base leveling videos, and I thought, I'll give that a try. It seemed to work out quite nicely with the way the map worked out here. As well as that, this hot water tank that holds all my recycled hot water out of the power plants, as in the power plants give it off as polluted water, it boils, and the steam turbines suck it out and throw it in here as 95C water. Well, right above it, at the very, very, very top of the map, we have a hot water geyser. Erupts at 95C, so I've just started dumping it in here. I think I'm going to seal up this tank and just let all the water flow in here. It should give me a nice big tank of water. I suppose that I put in one of these liquid locks. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I think there's no such thing as push through physics, so this should never overflow, no matter how high this gets. We'll find out though. Seems to be rising. Ooh, maybe it is. I might have to cap that off again. Never mind. Also, as well as that, I've got a cool slush geyser over here. This one here. So I am going to just pour this along here and dump it right into my polluted water tank. Should be fairly straightforward. All I do is just dig this out here, and it should flow all the way along and let gravity do all the work. I do have one further down the map that I'll have to do some pumping with, but I can live with a little bit of pumping. That's fine. And this over here, ooh, so okay, they have changed the physics on this. That's normally what would happen is the water would just flow in there and then it wouldn't flow up any higher. Oh well, my bad. Another little side project I've decided to get my dupe's paws on is a cool steam vent. I want to try something a little bit odd. Instead of just cooling the place down, I'm going to move everything out of there. As in, I've got a couple of gas pumps here, and I'm just going to pump the steam out. It's 110C steam. I'm going to pump it through insulated pipes and dump it right into my hot box. The hot industrial sauna will have a bunch of extra hot steam in it. At 110C, it will be cooler than it's required to operate the steam turbines, but there should be enough heat being generated by the surrounding machines that it might cause it to. Well, we'll see. This may cause too much cooling. I might have to dump more heat into my hotbox. We'll find out as it goes along. Oh, and I want to try and analyze that as quickly as possible. I'd prefer to get this sorted before. I want to get this sorted, sealed up, turned into a vacuum. I don't want to be pumping any oxygen or anything into my base. You know what I mean? So yeah, just another little minor side project. Yeah, this should be an interesting experiment. Once this place is vacuumed out, all I'll be doing is pumping out hot steam. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose some of it in the pipes. I'm only using regular insulated pipes made out of igneous rock. I should maybe switch that to ceramic, but I think I'm going to need that for the longer runs. I have 3 other cool steam vents I'm going to have to plug in if this works. If this doesn't work, I'll probably have to resort to cooling or something like that. I'd rather not though. I'd love to be able to just take all the cool steam vents on the map and dump them right in here, assuming this system can handle it. I've also made another few modifications as I went along just to optimize things. I've put in an airflow tile here to catch the liquid coming out of the cool steam or the steam turbines. It just means there's more cooling dumped at the top. I've also placed some airflow tiles here staggered along the way. You can kind of see them. This is to catch the polluted water coming out of the generators, and it spreads out the cooling across all 3 levels. Before I was getting too much cooling down the bottom and not enough cooling in the middle, so it was taking a long time for the temperature gradient to get up to the top. But now seems to be working just fine. And yeah, we're still producing lots of plastic. Maybe I should turn off the plastic. How much do I have? 154 tons. You know what? We can make another couple hundred tons. It's fine. Anyway, once this is all set up and sorted, I'll move on to the next project. So this was a horrible, horrible mistake. If I had just taken out a calculator, I could have figured it out quite quickly. This I put 3.5 kilos of steam per second, and it does it for 331 seconds. The gas pumps can only take out 1 kilo per second with one gas pipe, so yeah, there's no way I'm taking out the gas fast enough, and it keeps overpressurizing, meaning I'm losing steam. Yeah, there's no way to do it. I did some calculations. I would need to put in about 4 gas pumps and expand the space for it, and then those 4 gas pumps would be operating almost constantly when it was during its active period, which means, for about 70 cycles. So for 70 cycles, all 4 gas pumps would be almost flat out, meaning it would cost me 1 kilowatt of power almost to keep just one steam vent. Take all the steam from one steam vent. That is a huge waste. I'm just going to throw together a quick vent tamer on this. Otherwise, if I don't, I'll just feel bad. Yeah, I'm trying to put this together really quickly before, while it's in the midst of an active cycle. Next dormancy, 49 cycles. I don't have time. I'm just going to have to eat the steam getting out everywhere. On the bright side, I don't care if the area gets hot. If we check the temperature overlay for my map, it's pretty much hot everywhere. My map is hot. Sort of the plan. Unfortunately, some cool areas over here. The sea did that. Oh yeah, there's that cool slush geyser. And there's some colder spots up there where the ocean was. But the rest of it's all getting nice and warm. And there's that sort of pinkish area. That area over there is the hot industrial sauna. It's doing quite well for itself. Anyway, I'll just stick this together really quickly. I've got 24 dupes. This should only take a cycle or 2 to get done. So going through this at speed, this is almost ready to be filled up. Once I once I get this sealed in on this side, we can throw in the water and get this sucker started. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but they're not so bad. Just like riding a bike, it all comes back to you. Now, you know what? I'm going to double check all my settings just to make sure I've got in all my automation wires. Yeah, I always forget an automation wire. Power wires. Have I got my power wire in? Yes, I do have my power wire in. Plumbing. Yes, I've got my plumbing in. I've got that out. Yeah, I think we're good to start sealing this sucker up. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll seal this in this way and then oh, sweep it out as well. This here is going to be my hot box where the steam is going to be generated, and we're going to have a steam turbine placed right above it, right about here. If you've ever seen me do a steam vent chamber before, you've seen one of these. So to make things easier on myself, I just dump in water in here until this is full. This is going to be our little ice box that will store cooling for this. But to make things even simpler on ourselves, we're going to keep dumping in water until this has pushed all the air out so we don't have to do any vacuuming. This way we can avoid doing any vacuum stuff and we can still end up with a nice air clean place with nothing in it without having to do any gas vacuuming. So this little cold pocket, or the pocket that's going to be cold, is already full, so we just throw in a tile there. Duplicants can get down there and get access to it. Once that's blocked up, all we got to do is keep filling this up with water until this layer has a layer of water in it. And by that, let's show you here. There you can see the gas layer, and there's a little bit of gas in here. So all I'm going to do is fill this area up with water until there's a thin layer of water right on this level. That will force all the gases out. Then we can stick a steam turbine on top, and no need for any messy vacuums or anything like that. What's the water looking like over here? 500 kilos. Yeah, we're going to have to put about 2 tons of water in here. Not a big deal. And there we go. Done. We now have a complete seal with no oxygen or anything in there, so we can just deconstruct these ladder segments. Then, of course, do a quick sweep command to get them out of there. Oh, that reminds me, we can deconstruct all of these. You know what? We'll just cancel all of this. And there we go. We just fill in the tiles here. The steam turbine goes on top. I'm just going to make it out of lead. There's no need to go to anything fancy here. I still have to fill up the loops, though. As you can see, even though there's only about 20 kilos of water in this layer, it's enough to make sure there's no oxygen was in there, so we don't have anything clogging up the vents into the steam turbine. And done. And I even put in the output pipe exactly where it was going to go. I've done these before. Okay, we'll fill this up. We'll get her started. I'm going to need to get some polluted water to feed into the system. I could use clean water, but I think I'll use polluted water because it's better to have standards. So I dropped off 200 kilos of polluted water here just with using a bottle emptier. Deconstruct. You know what? Maybe I'm going to need slightly more. You never know. Then all I'm going to do is just plug it into the system and dump it around this cooling loop. This cooling loop is what's going to cool down this little box here. It's also going to simultaneously cool down the steam turbine. It's fairly straightforward. There we go. You know what? That's enough. I don't think we need any more. It doesn't complete the loop fully, but these things don't require an awful lot of cooling to work. So what's going to happen here is this. 1 second, I'll do a bit of tidy up first. So assuming I haven't missed anything, this should now be fully operational. What happens here is this. This thermo aquatuner here is what provides the cooling. It cools this polluted water going around the pipe. The temperature in the pipe is controlled by this temperature sensor right here. If the temperature of the water is above 30 degrees, the aquatuner stays on and keeps, dumping chill into the liquid in that pipe. So this water just goes round and round in a circle. It chills down the steam turbine up here, and it chills down this little tiny ice box down here. This over here is where all the steam gets condensed. Very straightforward. This temperature sensor detects what the temperature is like in here. If the temperature goes above 95 degrees, these doors will engage. When it does, the temperature from here will rush across, and you'll end up with a nice cool box in here. Oh, is that water almost boiling yet? Ooh, water is almost boiling. Nope, sorry. Once this hydrosensor detects that there's 800 kilos of water, as in the water has reached this point, then the pump will kick in and suck water out of the system. Now this steam turbine over here, when it generates heat, it will get eaten by the steam turbine, and the steam turbine will spit out the 95 degree water back down here, which will flow across and then get turned back into steam, and round and round and round she goes. Hopefully I don't have to stick another temperature shift plate. I think one temperature shift plate should be fine right there. And that's it. Very simple, straightforward, cool steam vent tamer. The only downsides are you need, 1.2 tons of steel. You could probably get by with a gold amalgam one, though I wouldn't like to try it. And I usually use lots of diamond temperature shift plates here because I'm a huge fan of diamond. Then the output pipe from that I'm going to have to send somewhere, and I'm not going to use ceramic for that. I think I'm just going to use igneous rock. I have to get it all the way over to this liquid tank over here. I might just feed it onto this system. It's probably the fastest way to do it, even though it's getting really congested with piping around here. Despite the simplicity of things so far, this is starting to get a little bit congested. Just saying. Why did I bother insulating that pipe? There's no need. Everything around here is boiling hot anyway. The water going the opposite direction is 85 and the oil's 90 something. 95-degree water is not going to be noticed around here. That was silly of me. Ah, I'm not even going to bother changing it. But that's one cool steam vent tamed. I will probably cool the other, or tame the other three at some other point, but I'll do that off camera. If you've seen one cool steam vent tamer, you've seen them all. They're small, compact, fairly efficient, and I'll include the save file. The save file is always included in all these videos. Just look in the description. There's a link to the save file. Every single Let's Play video has it. And yeah, just download it if you want to have a look and go through the settings. Now it's time to make our exit into space. The whole map has been completely picked clean. There's nothing left. Everything's been demolished. Everything. Well, there's a little bit of polluted water there. That's about the only thing that's left. Everything else is gone. Time to crack open into space. I want to try a little something I saw in one of their base leveling videos. First things first, transport. We want to get our dupes up here quickly and efficiently, and they are quite a distance away. Our core base exit is right here. That means our dupes have to travel all that far before they even start working. Also, our storage for everything we have is right here. Now, one reason the storage is in a giant pit is if you look at it there, the decor value is minus 7,051. So no matter how good I make the decor in my bedroom, or decor in my bedroom, it is never going to keep up with that. So by keeping it down in this hole, the dupes usually stand here and pick it up out of the hole without getting close enough to get affected by the negative decor. Also, you don't need this pressure sensor. The pressure sensor is only here so I can have I can kind of laugh at how much resources I have collected. That's what, 17,000 tons. Yeah, that's a lot. That's the hardest working weight plate in all of dupedom. Love it. Now, I also stuck in a couple of transport tubes here. These are going to be constantly empty though. There's another few down here, 4 down here, all across from the work area because all of these will be churning out steel and metals and things like that. I just throw on transformers higgledy-piggledy wherever I want. And I know higgledy-piggledy isn't a real word. The reason I'm able to throw them on without caring anymore and I don't give a hoot about cooling them down is, well, they're made of steel. I've made all of them of steel, which means they won't overheat until they hit 275. And since it's a hot map, we don't care. Nothing will ever get that hot out there. We're fine. It'll get cooled down by the near boiling water and near boiling oil running around the place. Once this is in place, we can start, well, once the transport network is completely finished so that we can get up and down out of here really quickly, we'll break out here and install our, it's going to be, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'm going to build sort of a box up here, a transport box, and I'm going to put drywall backing on it so my dupes can go all the way up without exiting out into the space area. Just something I saw in a base living video. Oh, and my power spine has also been extended all the way up here, and I'm going to put in these heavy watt joint plates so that I can plug them into these into the heavy watt wires wherever I want a transformer. For example, there's a transformer right there. Boom, problem solved. And that transformer will be kept cool because it's going to be right beside a giant pool of water. Maybe not giant pool yet, but eventually this will fill up. It will keep filling up. Yeah, once those two are powered up, we can begin our assault on space. So right now I'm just digging up to the very top of the map. It's the very first thing you want to do. You want to get to the very edge of the map and you want to start putting down bunker tiles. I've seen someone do it. I can't remember who it was, but they counted it out and they lined their bunker doors up straight away from the start. I don't bother. I just build bunker tiles to start. I'll replace them with bunker doors later. I'll have to demolish, of course, the bunker tiles. I don't care. It's usually just faster to build the bunker tiles, and you can build them one at a time, like this, off to the sides. This is just to give me shielding to start. And then all of these ladders, they're made out of mafic rock. The reason we're using mafic rock, it's easy. It's cheap to get your hands on, and it's close by. The entire top of this biome is made of mafic rock. And all we want to do here is get a nice big umbrella. I'm not trying to get the whole start of the map just yet. That will come, but for the time being, I just want to get a nice umbrella to work with so I can get my transport spine in place. And we'll just finish off that ladder there. Oh, and I love the way fire poles can now overwrite other ladders. That is just brilliant. What I just don't want to happen right now is I don't want a meteor to come straight down here and start smashing into things. What's the priority and everything? 5? Yeah, that's fine. And there we go. They'll go through all of that, and wow, that's a lot of duplicates at work. Good work, dupes. Keep it up. Now, what I want to do is make a sort of a transport spine that's insulated, like has drywall behind it, and integrated into the rest of my base. I want this transport spine to just continue straight on all the way to the top of the map. Well, that's the plan. Oh, looks like it started raining. Oh, no, it's over already. That was a short one. What I'm going to do is just set the bunker tiles to be priority 6. That way the duplicates will prioritize getting those up first, and then the ladder segments will come second. Once that little umbrella is up and running, I'll finish this off. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that little tip. Prioritize getting the bunker tiles before the ladder segments, and hopefully it will work out quite nicely for you. Now, so is this giant transport spine with multiple exits really worth it? No. In fact, many of the things I'm doing, I should really point out, a lot of the construction projects I do, they're not totally necessary. I mean, super efficiency wise. The petroleum boiler I still think is perfectly necessary, but running a big hot industrial brick is not a necessity. Running a cool industrial brick or a cold one is much easier, much less hassle, and much less difficult to figure out. Cool steam vent tamer, this one though is pretty standard. You should be using that if or something similar. As for mining out the entire map, you don't need to. Mining out the whole map is just something I like to do so I have all the resources in one spot. Doing this sort of weird transport spine or space corridor, space elevator doesn't quite work. But having this nice protected, and I'm going to pressurize this as well. I'm going to pressurize this area. It's not necessary. It's just something you do because, well, it's there to be built in this game, and you have so many options in this game. Why not take advantage of all of them? So I'll just skip forward a bit until I've got most of this bizarre little grid in place. So I've automated this so that all of these little liquid locks will fill up. There is a lot of liquid locks. I don't think I need this many, but I thought, why not? I've got the time. I'm going to be editing all this out, though, of course, so you won't have to sit around waiting for all this petroleum to accumulate. In fact, it's taking so long for the petroleum to accumulate because I am burning quite a chunk of it. I mean, this is all the excess petroleum that I'm not currently burning. So what I could do, if I wanted to, is build a second petroleum boiler. There's a lot of oil wells around here. There is a lot of oil wells and a lot of volcanoes. Like there's 3 oil wells right there and a volcano right beside it. That could be one. Bit too close to my base though. There's 3 more over here. You know what? I might put another one together. Maybe just not right now. But I think I've cut about 27, almost 30 minutes of footage. So I think I'll cut this out about here. Namely because I think I've done about 200 or 300 cycles of actual playing, just between all the ridiculousness of coring out the map and putting in a few bits and bobs. It's amazing how the time flies. Anyway, next up we will be tackling space. It'll be straight into steam rockets, then onto petroleum, and then straight into hydrogen. It should all be just one big fell swoop straight through everything, assuming nothing has changed too drastically from the previous update. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mildly random and very excavating playthrough, and good luck.